December 2nd, 2023 was your last opportunity to take the paper version of the SAT. College Board is now only admitting the digital version of the SAT, which comes with its own format and a couple new unique nuances that I want to break down in this video. I founded Path to Math, which is my own tutoring company, and within that tutoring company, I am a tutor that specializes in the SAT math section. I got a 790 out of 800 on that section. That's a 99th percentile, top 1% score in the nation. And I'm making this video to help you with your SAT scores for free, which is important for scholarship opportunities as well as getting admitted to these colleges. The digital SAT has 4 sections and they're organized like this. The first 2 sections are both going to be a combination of reading and writing. They're no longer separating those into 2 different modules. Both of these reading and writing sections are nearly identical. The second one has a twist, which I'll get to in a moment. The third and fourth modules of the SAT are both math sections, and they both provide a calculator on the screen for you to use for any question. You're going to be given 35 minutes for each of these sections, and there's going to be 22 questions on each section. Your second math section also has a twist. Before I get into that, let me just kind of highlight the differences from the new and the old SAT. The old SAT on paper, you had about 65 minutes to do a reading section, and then about 30 minutes to do a writing section. And then the math section was vastly different as well. You had 55 minutes for a calculator section, and then you had 25 minutes for a non-calculator section. Amount of questions varied from each section as well. So now you see we have 4 modules seemingly very identical, but here's the twist. The second section for the reading and writing categories is going to adapt based on how you did on the first section. The difficulty of the questions is going to change based on what you got right and wrong on that first section. They're introducing this adaptive system now for the SAT. The same thing applies to the math sections. What this means is the first reading and writing section and the first math section are going to be very important to your overall SAT score. Let's break down the content that we're going to see for each of these sections. Here you can see the reading and writing sections test your understanding of context, interpretation, text structure, and overall grammar. But the math section is a bit more complicated, and that's because College Board admits different variations of the PSAT based on your grade level. And so there's going to be limitations to those PSATs, but since we're focused on just the SAT, everything you see here is going to be included on the SAT. It's going to be a culmination of grades 6 to 14 in terms of the math curriculum. As you can see, about 70% of the math sections are going to be involving algebra and advanced math, such as systems of equations, graphing in slope-intercept form, working with variables, and nonlinear graphs such as parabolas in standard form and in vertex form. In short, it's more or less the same curriculum as the previous SAT, but now it's an entirely different format with the introduction of an adaptive question difficulty-based system. And the best way to prepare for that is by taking practice tests. I have links down below for that. Before you go click those links though, here's a little sneak peek to what they look like. Alright, so let's check out the layout of the new SAT. It starts with an instructional page for the first reading and writing section and for the first math section. But the timer is already running, so you should read these before you take the SAT and already understand what they expect from you. And just to be clear, what you're looking at is me taking a practice SAT from the College Board website, which is a part of the links I have down below. In terms of layout, there's nothing too crazy on the reading and writing sections. It's still just a bunch of multiple choice options. But when you begin the math section, it provides a very in-depth explanation of instructions and expectations on how to type in answers or what type of answers you might see. On the old SAT, the FRQs required only 4 digits and they were all grid-in response, as I'm sure you may remember if you've ever taken the paper SAT. There's all those grid-in response questions. Well, now those are a little bit different. You're allowed to have 5 digits for your fill-in-the-blank answers or for your FRQ questions, your free response questions. You can have 5 digits for any positive answer. Your answer now could be negative, whereas in the past, it had to be positive. So now with negative answers, you are allowed a 6th digit to type in the negative sign. You can use your keyboard and keyboard shortcuts such as the slash symbol for a fraction. You see me using that here to make 3/10 or 3/10. Your keyboard can be used for the answers, but also for the calculator. Let's talk about the calculator. This calculator that they provide you for every single question on this SAT is extremely helpful, but only if you understand how to use it and all of the features that come with it. The calculator saves your work unless you want to clear it, but you can utilize the sections they offer to perform different calculations without erasing previous work. Even if you exit out of the calculator page, when you pull it back up, it'll have all your previous work back on it. What's exciting is how easy it is to graph. Not only will it update the graph as you type it in, but you can graph multiple graphs at the same time. This makes systems of equations much easier. You could even click on the intersections and it will provide you the exact point, just like I'm showing here on the screen. There does still seem to be some form of a difficulty gradient the more you progress throughout this test. That's for both the reading and writing sections and for the math sections. The SAT is still going to be graded or scored on a scale of 400 to 1600. And the best way to prepare for this is by taking practice tests, especially as you're approaching your test date. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, liking and subscribing would encourage me to make more videos like this. I'm doing this all on my own right now, so it takes a lot of time, but I'm trying to see if I can help a lot of people by explaining and breaking down things they may not understand. If this video wasn't helpful, let me know how and I'll try to fix that. For any private or group tutoring inquiries, I have my email in the description below. Go ahead and shoot me an email and I'll get back to you about that. Otherwise, thank you and have a great day.